But let's move on now to the nutrition element of it. And I love this one. I have a degree in nutrition. I'm a nutritionist as well. So the nutrition component is so important in all of this. 80% of your results are going to come from what you eat. So the nutrition component is so critical to actually getting healthier and changing the way your body looks. It's the catalyst. So Skip, you want to start us off on some nutrition stuff?
Yeah, number one is you got to accept that. I know you want to work hard and you get those immediate results, the pump, the feeling of satisfaction of getting to the gym even when you don't feel like it. Feels great coming out there. You'll put 100% attention into it. Enjoy that feeling. Enjoy the challenge of working out. But I'll tell you this, you're not going to get the results if you don't dig deeper into, go on a journey of learning what you have to do with your nutrition. I have so many men, so many older men, even the ones who are in shape, they're 22, 25% body fat. In clothes, especially, that looks way better than all the men their age. All right. And I ask them, well, how many calories do they eat? And they'll confidently say, oh, I don't count my calories. Right. And again, they're not even taking the journey to learn more, to experiment more. And that's where all the good stuff happens. That's where your physique starts really separating yourself. All the answers for most people are in the nutrition. Yet the natural tendency is to look for the next training routine, believing that a different order, a different amount of sets, reps, a certain exercise is going to change your physique, where it's in your nutritional habits.
Excellent point. I'm glad you brought that up. So I was actually speaking to somebody yesterday, a woman, and she's going to Orange Theory 3 times a week. She has a personal trainer that comes to her house 3 times a week. I think she's doing Pilates also a couple times a week, and she's still 25 pounds overweight. Like, she still wants to lose 25 pounds. Well, what's the missing element there? We just said 80% of your results are going to come from your nutrition. You can do all the training you want. If that nutrition is not dialed in, you will not see anything. And this is the element, like Skip said, that people don't put enough emphasis on. And if you put more emphasis on the nutrition component of it, you will see results that you've never thought was possible. And you will maintain those results for longer than you think you ever will be. Because again, it's all about getting in these right things. So the first things first is, and we're going to make this pretty general. I mean, Skip and I could probably go in way deep into the science here, but we want you to just have a practical application to this so you could take this advice and kind of run with it. So first things first, high quality forms of protein. I used to say in the past, you just have to get your protein in, but people misconstrue what a high quality protein source is nowadays. They focus on, the peanut butters and beans and those types of things. High quality protein contains all the amino acids or the building blocks for muscle. So if our main goal is to change the way our body looks and functions, we need to give it high quality ingredients. So the first things first is high quality protein. Anything you want to mention on that, Skip?
No, that's great point. Great point. And keep it that simple, right? Don't overcomplicate that simple message.
Yeah. And I would also aim to get 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. That's like a good standard. Again, Skip and I don't know who's listening to this on the other end. So as a general blanket rule, if you weigh 150 pounds, you need to get in 150 grams of protein every day. And it's that simple. However you need to do it over 3 meals a day, do it over 6 meals a day. Doesn't matter, as long as you're hitting that total protein for the day. And Skip had said this years ago in a seminar that I had watched, but you have to base every meal that you eat around your protein. And a lot of people don't do that. They think of the protein as the afterthought. So when you first sit down and have a meal, you have to ask yourself, where's my protein? And you start with that. And that'll be the best starting point you could do on your nutrition. Anything you want to add, Skip?
Nope, sounds good. Sounds good. And again, I also tell my men, my clients, anyone who watches my videos, that it isn't like you have to totally thread the needle. All right. I can tell when someone is uncertain and they haven't gone on the journey when they're debating versus 0.08 versus 1 versus 1.5, that they're not even on the journey. Pick one of the 3. Take Anthony's recommendation, go forward. You're not going to lose. It isn't like if you get it exactly right, it's a 10 out of 10, your body transforms and quickly. Oh, but I did 0.08, and that's why have 25% body fat, right? It's you don't have to hit it to worry about it that much. Take the guideline, execute.
Yeah. So I had gotten started with fitness. It was probably in the late 90s. And I watched a seminar that Skip had did probably in about 2000. And he mentioned the simplest thing when it comes to nutrition. He talked about, and this is in 2000, this is 23 years ago at this
Mm.
point, as the date of this recording. But he said it's all about calories in versus calories out. And that is the way your body sees food. See, we think of nutrition, most people think of nutrition, oh, I just got to eat clean and I'm going to get in good shape doing that. But the issue is your body doesn't look at food that way. It looks at food from calories, protein, carbs, fats, vitamins, minerals. It doesn't see what you eat. It just sees the amounts. It doesn't discriminate against foods. And obviously, you want to try to get better foods, obviously your fruits, your vegetables, all those things to get in more vitamins and minerals. But the key here is to making sure if you're trying to lose body fat, change the way your body looks and get healthier, you need to be in what's called a calorie deficit. So, first things first is a general rule, because again, we don't know who's listening to this, but I would take your body weight and I would multiply that between 10 or 12 to tell you just about how many calories you need on a general basis to lose body fat. Again, just a general one. So like Skip said, don't try to thread the needle, just take that advice and start there and then adjust accordingly. But getting into the habit of understanding how many calories you're consuming on a daily basis, and then watching the trends and watching what happens with your body when you follow those things and those calories. So for example, if you're eating whatever 1700 calories a day and you notice that nothing's happening with your body and you wait a couple weeks and nothing's still happening, that means you might have to, one, check if you're actually hitting those calories, and two, you might have to lower the calories down. But it's generally a good starting point. But yeah, Skip was saying this message 23 years ago, so I can appreciate that one for sure.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I kind of cringe. What did I say 23 years ago? Because being an extreme bodybuilder, where that was my whole lifestyle, I see that same, what I call passion from the young, passionate fitness experts, right? There's a lot of overkill that really doesn't need to consume your energy, your brain space now that you're older. All right. And so I've evolved. I've evolved with the science of a lot of things I said 23 years ago. And that's something I really emphasize now, so that people are more likely to jump in to this nutrition process instead of it's so overwhelming that they stay away from it, they never do it. So I guess I was right on that one, right? Emphasizing it, right? Because if you, and again, I understand, and we understand that whatever we say, you've heard something different if you put any effort into this. There's experts on Twitter, and their moniker, their handle is, I don't count calories, right? You know what I mean? So, and they tell you how worthless that is. I've got a lot of theories on why they say that, and it's really what they've learned over time, what's now just habits, and over time, so we understand that you've heard the direct opposite sometimes of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, if you just track your total calories eaten and your protein intake every day, and kind of let your carbs and fat fall where they are, so kind of eat the way you want. If you want to eat a lower carb approach, you can do that. If you want to eat a higher fat approach, you can do that. As long as your calories are in line and you're getting in enough protein, your body will transform. You don't have to think way more beyond that. And exactly like Skip said, there's so many methods to do this. So everybody knows what a chef hat looks like. You know what a chef hat looks like, right, Skip?
Sure.
So
I've
do you
worn one
actually
back in the day.
do you know how many rivets are in the hat?
I do not.
There are 107 like rivets in a chef's hat. So the same thing with fitness. There are so many different ways to skin a cat. But through our 53 years of experience, we have found that the easiest and most applicable and longer term approach to doing this is totally counting calories and hitting that protein intake. Because if you do those two things, you will check the biggest boxes with nutrition for transforming your life, beating aging, and looking better naked and staying strong. So I think we beat up nutrition pretty good, unless there's something else you want to add in there, Skip.
Nope, that's good. And again, keep it simple so you attack it and get on the journey instead of a lot of times people like to make it overwhelming so they don't have to attack it, right? They'd rather just spend that hour a day in the gym, right? So